Today, we're in Diepkloof, Soweto, to meet 31-year-old petroleum jelly-based product manufacturer Nkosi Mvubu. Nkosi started his business in 2019 in the kitchen of his family home at just 26 years old. His business grew steadily, and before long, he had moved out of home and rented a place in Alexandra, where he ran his business on a slightly larger scale. As his business blossomed, he was approached by Family Tree Holdings under the auspices of the Gauteng Department of Economic Development. He was invited to join a 3-year incubation program which promised support in the form of access to market and factory space, as well as assistance with compliance, advertising, and funding.
I had moved out of the family home and I had rented an own space, and when the opportunity for Family Tree had to take us to
Co-space.
Yeah. I had to forfeit my lease at Alex and tell that person, the landlady, would say like I'm now moving out and I found a much bigger
greener pastures. We
exactly,
thought.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nkosi moved his operations out of Alex to Co-space in Midrand, where Family Tree promised to pay 50% of the rental fees. But Family Tree reneged. Nkosi's goods were confiscated by Co-space due to Family Tree's arrears. He eventually had to leave Co-space, but he could not return to Alex due to financial and other constraints. He's now back home with his grandfather.
So how are you able to now manufacture Wenzela
using the stove and pot and I've back to where I started.
To where you started?
Yeah. I went back to square one.
Nkosi not only lost the factory space, but he also lost customers. Like many other manufacturers, he was told that his products would receive shelf space at 3 distribution centers or DCs. And so he was encouraged to focus on the incubation program and forsake his individual customers in his community. He did so, believing that the move would not only allow those customers to one day access his goods more conveniently at a DC, but it would provide him access to an even wider market. But his products were never stocked by any DC.
How many shops did you supply before?
We used
before Family Tree?
Before Family Tree, it was 2 supermarkets and 5 spaza shops.
In Alex?
Yeah, in Alex. So we stopped with the spaza shops, which is focused with the supermarkets because those are big deals. And we didn't want to completely crash everything down. We talked to the spaza shops as much as it's difficult now, but they understand that we don't have the capacity like we had before.
Nkosi regrets joining the incubation program.
If you knew then what you know now, would you have joined the Family Tree program?
I wouldn't because we've wasted a lot of time meeting and deliberating, getting promises, and you plan. Because I lost with the Family Tree, I lost over 40,000 that I could have used somewhere and profitably. But because I told myself that, I'm getting into this deal. We had signed a 2-year contract with Family Tree, and within just a few months things crumbled. So so I think that's where I'm at, in my current situation. I wouldn't have done it, and
What is impressive, though, is that when all is said and done, Nkosi remains determined. Although he is hopeful that his business will grow again, he is, however, skeptical of government intervention.
In terms of when you get government contracts, don't depend on them fully, because you can depend on them fully to say, no, I'm waiting for the government, and you'll never get started. You wait for long and you'll never even fulfill your dreams or whatever it is that you are doing. So with this is that I've started something that I can't kill anymore. I have orders from Bumalang, KZN, and to just tell the people that we are out of business, for me was it can't happen. So I think that's what has kept me going.
Build One South Africa continues to fight for Nkosi and many other manufacturers who were used and abused by Family Tree Holdings and the Gauteng Department of Economic Development.